Yeah.
case I didn't tell you already, um, just waiting for the dates to come out for
Okay.
camp. But we did decide that we are going to go up again for camp this year. So,
Okay. Awesome.
the invitation is always open. It's always on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, somewhere in that weekend. It's in August. Obviously, I know Kelly may not want to go being pregnant,
Yep.
but if you would like to come, it's free.
Might
Just
have
got to
to
drive
talk.
up.
Might have to talk to her about that. You take. What are you and Jordan going, or are you and the
No,
whole
me and the
fam?
fam,
Okay,
the
you
whole
and the
fam.
fam.
We
Okay.
we all go up. So what we usually do is we go up. They always have the scrimmage on usually on Sunday. So we'll
Yeah.
go up either Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or just go up Saturday, Sunday. Go to
Yeah.
camp on Saturday, and then do something during the day.
Yeah.
So we have zoo memberships, so we get half price to their zoo. Their zoo's awesome. A lot of walking,
Wait, if
but
you're a
awesome.
Cincinnati Zoo member, you get half off up there.
You get half off at like 200 zoos around the country.
Oh, well, because I'm a Zoo member as well, so
Yeah.
that's nice to
I
know.
think it's I think and Angie would have to correct me on this. I think it's Louisville, Columbus, Cleveland. There's a bunch. I think Kansas City may even, or St. Louis may be on the list too. I've seen a
Okay.
couple of these on there. I know you guys go to St. Louis quite a bit, so um, at
St.
least
Louis
once a
Zoo is
year.
actually free.
Oh, okay. Well, there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, surprisingly, it's a free zoo.
Yeah, it sounds like the DC
You
zoo I
just
heard
gotta
is
you
really
just gotta
good, but it's
pay
free.
pay for parking.
Oh,
But
that's not bad.
no, it's not bad at all. There you go. So anyway, let's get into it. Before we get into some Browns news, obviously we're missing 1B, Kyle. Kind of talking to him recently, and I think he's decided to kind of step away for a little bit. He's been promoted at work,
Hmm.
and
Congrats to
a
him.
lot of, yeah, number one, like he's married, they've got a kid as well, so more money in your pocket's a really good thing, especially
Mhm.
nowadays with gas being $5 plus a gallon. So but with that, it kind of takes away some of his time that he had to do the show because he's got a lot more responsibilities. So he's pretty much going to take a step back for a while. Maybe I
In
don't
and
know if
out.
it's going to be a permanent thing. It's one of
Yeah.
those. We told him that he is welcome back anytime. Anytime he wants to jump on and do a show with us, he's always welcome back. And I mean that with all sincerity.
Yeah.
No matter what, if if it's only once every 3 months, then it's once every 3 months. But
Yeah.
but until
I
then, it's
I can
just
tell you from experience, when I was right before I left Chipotle, I
yeah,
was in training to do what he's doing now to be an
yeah,
apprentice. And it is so much work. Those 10-hour shifts there, because it's either at least for us, it was either what, 8 to 6, 10 to 7,
hmm,
or 2 to close. So even if he worked, 8 to 6 or 10 to 7, those shifts suck.
yeah,
You got all prep all morning. You have to get ready for the evening shift, and then you have to deal with the dinner rush, no matter what. So you're exhausted by the time you leave. So I understand taking the step back. So I hopefully he'll come back and maybe he's able to do so around the time of the season. He's able to get to work his schedule out to come back. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Obviously, congrats to him on getting the promotion, but we'll see if he's able to make it a regular thing again.
yeah, yep, exactly. And and until then, it's just gonna be Minko and I. So and that's okay. That's
Hmm.
fine by me. I'd be doing this by myself. And I know Minko would probably do the same thing. We don't need an excuse to talk about Browns football.
No,
We never have. And
correct.
so there you go. So anyway, let's kind of get into some news. Let's just get this over and done with because I
It's
don't want
better
to
off to
talk
get out of the
about
way
it.
now.
I don't want to talk about it anymore after this. Obviously, we have two more accusers that are joining the lawsuit against Deshaun Watson. The number's up to 26 now, which is absolutely insane. What was it? Tuesday, he actually met with the media for the first
Mhm.
time since his introductory press conference, where he still said that he doesn't want to be our I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. Sorry, he said he's still adamant on being innocent and everything. Um,
He
which
didn't sexually assault anyone or
yeah, that's what he
disrespect any
said. He
women.
did not assault anyone. Actually, Kyle's in the chat right now. He said he's also in the don't want Watson camp. So there you go. That
Yeah.
was also a big part of it. Thank you for reiterating that, Kyle. Completely understand that and respect that
Yeah.
wholeheartedly in every sense of the word. So I completely get that. You're not the,
One thing I'll say,
yeah,
and this is one thing that really Rich Eisen, I was watching him the other day, and he made a really good point. Because when Watson was asked if I can't remember what the question was, but he pretty much gave the whole lawyer speak, right? So he kind of was on the defense and on the lawyer talk the
yeah,
whole time. The one thing that really confused the hell out of me was when he looked at the camera and said, what was it? I just came off the football field, so I'm not really prepared to answer a question like that. And
yeah.
I
I
was like,
heard that.
What?
It,
Like, and the other thing I wanted to hear him say was, listen, 66 massage therapists or masseuses in 17 months is too many. That's an absurd number. And, people have a right to question me. Something along those lines. To outright understand that what people are saying is 100% true. That's too many.
oh,
I don't care what it
100%.
is. I mean, in my opinion, it's clear he has some kind of sex addiction because you're not looking for something that often from that many women in not having some kind of an addiction.
Yeah,
So, and I've always been on the case on the side of I want to see the facts come out because it all just seems so strange to me
yeah,
personally.
yeah,
I think every time I hear a story come out, it's always that just seems off. And then you see more information like the whole Texans thing comes out and it's like, why wasn't this mentioned earlier? Again, it seems off. There's something more that we're not being told that makes me believe that there's way more to the story, and I don't know that we'll ever get it. And that's why I've always been under the camp of let's wait and see. I don't like that we signed him. I really don't. As a off the field individual, I don't like it.
I agree with you.
Right?
I think
But
we've,
on the field, obviously we know his talent is excuse me, way more than Baker Mayfield's.
yeah,
So
yeah. It, honestly, and my dad and I kept talking about it. Obviously, my dad and I, we both agree that it just seems like number one, Deshaun Watson is just an absolute pervert, like through and through. He he's a sex addict and he needs help. And I'm pretty sure that he even said that like he was getting counseling kind of over
no,
that. I don't. He didn't.
in his introductory
Okay.
presser, he said that he did not think that he needed therapy, and didn't think that he would go forward with any type of therapy.
Okay.
He needs something. That's it's too many. Dude, you are the quarterback of an NFL franchise. You were
Yep.
the face of now two franchises, or will soon be. You were the biggest star in Houston at that time.
Yep.
You cannot tell me you could not find the best masseuse possible. The best masseuse possible would have died to get their hands on you because they could say that they were massaging all the big stars in Houston.
Yep.
But yet you went to 66 women in 17 months.
And
Way too many.
it also came out that not that a lot of them, vast majority of them, were not licensed masseurs. So he obviously, we
Was
kind of
looking
know
for
what
one
that
thing.
we know what that means. They were
Right.
probably prostitutes, which I mean, whatever, I guess, but I continue to hope that he is innocent and he did not sexually assault anyone,
Yeah.
not just for the good of the Browns, but for the good of the women involved, because I don't want anybody to go through that. And
Yeah,
that's
I agree.
continually what I'm going to say
Yep.
is that I hope he's innocent, not just for us, not just for him, but for the women as well, because they don't
Yep.
deserve to go through that.
Yep.
And Miko, your wife Angie is in the chat saying, I think he's a skeezy celebrity who uses his rank to get what he wants, and a bunch of women who consensually performed sex acts got their pennies in a bunch and sued. Just my personal opinion. And that
The
very
bad
well
part was
could,
is the bad part was is the lawyer sought them out.
yep,
It wasn't them bringing the lawsuit to him. It was him seeking them out, and that's the part that is really confusing to me. Is that
Yeah.
people heard the case prior and they wouldn't take it. He heard about it and he jumped all over it.
Yep.
So to me, like I said, the whole thing is just strange. That's why, then you hear about the Texans getting involved, and it's like, okay, why wasn't this leaked earlier? And then, 66 women in 17 months. That number just seems extremely high. How did that come out? How and like I was listening to, and I hate Skip Bayless, but Shannon Sharp made a good point about this. He said, even to this day, he still sees the same massage therapist as he saw when he played for the Broncos. He still flies her out to Los Angeles. He still get massages from her every
Yeah.
every so many months. So it's no most people with that stature would get the best thing possible and then pay for them to come out. The team would also pay for anybody you want. Let's be
Oh,
honest.
100%.
You're their star quarterback. They're gonna drop every dime they can to get you the best care possible.
Yep.
Why do you think they see 2, 3 specialists to get second opinions? Why
Yep.
do you think they go to, what is it, like Doctor, what is it, Mark Andrews or whatever that guy is, the head surgery guy for the Tommy John surgery for all the
Yep.
pitchers? They
Yep.
all go to the same guy because he's the best in the country. Baker went to a shoulder specialist out in Arizona because he's a renowned specialist.
Yep.
You could get whatever care you want. 66 massage therapists in 17 months is way too high.
No, I agree
It's
with you.
it's clear that there's something more going on. That
Yep.
it's clear that he was going into it looking for something else. And the other part, and this is the last thing I don't want to keep
Yeah.
talking about, but the last thing I'll say that really confused the hell out of me was that there was rumors that, at least, and I don't know if it's completely true or not, but there was information going around that a lot of this was done through a third party. So it's like, how is the third party getting their hands on these massage therapists, and why are they being referred over to him? Was the intent of whatever sexual act, was that already described to them, what he was going to be
Yeah.
asking for? Was that already being told to them, and then they got there, they realized what was going on, and then now they got upset because of it? I don't know what the information was, and I don't think we'll ever know. I hope it wasn't that they had no idea what was going on. They get there, he exposes himself and it's like, oh, yo, hey, look, touch it. Like, that's just
Yeah.
disgusting.
No,
Either
no.
way, he needs help. Either way.
Yeah, you're absolutely 100% right. Um, Angie thinks that he treaded a gray line that no one can actually definitively prove either way, and I think she's
Agree.
right. Kyle says personally, I don't think he's innocent. He's a POS. I think we can agree with that. He's with some of the things he's done. It's kind of is a POS, and I hope that he gets some therapy, and I hope that if any one of these stories are true that these women are saying, I hope to God they can heal some way.
And I
And
hope
just
he gets the book thrown at him. I hope he gets
exactly,
suspended for
yes,
a long ass time. He's the
exactly,
quarterback of my favorite football team. I'd rather go 0-16 again than know that he
yep,
actually did something, and sexually assaulted a woman and gets to play for my team. I'd rather him get suspended for a full year plus.
I
And
I agree.
and, and if that happens, he gets suspended indefinitely. I hope there's some way for the Browns to recuperate that money they gave him.
Well, supposedly there is in the contract. If he if
But
something happens, they'll be able to kind of recuperate some
after
of that.
next year's money, though, he'll still get over 45 million. He's still getting all that the signing bonus that he got. I think was like 70.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it doesn't really matter either way. He made a
Yep.
shit ton of money that all those women will never ever get their hands on
Yep.
if he did it.
Yep. You're right.
And like you said, I hope if he did actually do anything to any of these women, they're able to heal, and I hope that he gets whatever is coming to him. But if he didn't do it, then you know, whatever. If he
Yep.
did do it, this whole regime needs to be gone. As much as I love this regime, I love Stefanski, I love Andrew Barry, I love what they have done. If this is true and they didn't do their due diligence, the whole thing needs to be burnt to the ground. Haslam's need to sell a team and everything. Personally,
Yeah.
my opinion. But
Well,
we can move on.
yeah. Let's move on to from one quarterback to another.
Hmm.
So um, the trade talks between the Panthers and the Browns have heated up again recently, and it kind of sounds like the Panthers are starting to get a little desperate in getting Baker Mayfield down to Carolina, which I can understand why if you look at their quarterback room. It's not
And Darn,
great.
not Coral. Corral, sorry. Or a beat
Yeah.
up Cam.
Is Cam with him? I thought he only signed a one
No,
year.
no, he's not with them, but it's obviously that's the second option. If Matt Corral and Sam Darnold look as bad as what everyone thinks they will, then obviously you can go to a beat up Cam. I'm sure he'd go back.
Yeah, he needs a job. He needs a job. So
Although who's he going to throw to? You obviously have DJ Moore there, but Robbie Anderson's 1 foot out the door.
exactly.
He's already said twice he's thinking about retiring, and he already said he
Yep.
refuses to play with Baker. So
Yep.
there was rumor. I don't know if you saw it, but there's two rumors I saw today of what the return could be. The first thing I saw was a fourth round pick strictly just for Baker straight up.
Yeah.
And I mean, hell, if you can get a fourth rounder for Baker, I'm so be it. I'm cool with it. The other thing I saw was Robbie Anderson for Baker straight up. I don't know if that one I don't know if I would do. Me personally, Robbie Anderson's a good wide receiver, but I don't know if he's worth it. First of all, he has bricks for hands, and second of all, as good as he is as far as like speed wise, I just don't know if he's worth it. I mean, dude's already said he wanted to retire. He's already said he won't play with certain quarterbacks. What would he be in the locker room?
Exactly. I agree with you. Um
Yeah. Also, it on the topic of Baker, if you didn't see it, Batonio came out today and said that Baker is one of his dearest friends and that he hates to see him go and gave him a whole bunch of kudos.
yep. And he's, if I remember correctly, he might be the second former teammate of Baker's that has
Mhm.
said something like that.
It's like he's like the fourth. Nick Chubb said it.
And
JOK said it. Miles
JOK,
Garrett said it.
I didn't know or I didn't know JOK said anything.
Yeah, he said that Baker was a really good teammate.
Okay. And that
It's
was kind of
the,
surprising for me for a while, not hearing these guys come to his defense. Because
yeah,
if you
I
think
agree.
about it, last year, um, when the whole Odell thing went down,
Yeah,
bunch of people came to his defense last year.
yeah,
A bunch of people came to his defense, and I wasn't hearing a whole lot of that from, for Baker.
yeah,
So it is kind of nice to hear that a little bit.
yeah.
It's
I
nice.
agree.
Um, but I mean, we'll see. I know the one thing that's holding this trade up again is salary cap issues.
Money. Yeah,
How much money are the Browns going to eat up in this? And I think they're fully prepared to eat up the vast majority of it. I mean, they're prepared to pay the entire thing if they have to. That's
well, I
why.
mean, and that's the thing is they don't have to do it. They have the cap. They
Yeah.
have the space to keep Baker the whole
Yep.
year.
Exactly. And they
They
will.
they'll do whatever. Yeah, exactly. They'll do whatever they need to. If they need to do the same thing the Texans did to Watson, they'll do it.
Yeah.
Let him not show up and then still pay him. They'll do it. I mean, hell, they still have. I don't remember the exact number, but I think it was close to 20 mil left in space. And I think it's before the Clowney deal. But even if you still have 10 million left over, you don't have a whole lot of people left to sign.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least as of right now. So if you still have 10 mil left, and that's before cutting Baker or getting rid of him before it's off the books, who cares? 10 million is more than most teams have in the NFL right now.
Yep.
And it's one of those things where if you have to keep him until someone will pay most of it, fuck it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Plain and
Exactly.
simple.
Exactly. The Browns
Until
aren't
you
the
exactly.
Browns are not desperate right now. And that's a good place to be in because it sounds like Carolina is getting more and more desperate after seeing what Sam Darnold's doing in minicamp and what Matt Corral's doing in minicamp. They seem pretty desperate at this point, which is good for us.
Yeah, well, I
That's
mean, and you let them keep getting desperate. You're holding the line now.
Yep.
Hold the line. Let that fester because eventually what's going to happen is one of two things. Either Carolina's going to break. They're going to give up either a second or a third. Get Baker in there and somehow offload a lot of that money. Say, hey, we'll give you a second round pick if you take 15 of the 20 million that he's guaranteed. Cool. If I'm being honest, I'll eat that 15
Yep.
if you're giving me a second round pick because that means you have 2 seconds next year that you could work with. You know
Yep.
what I mean? So if you can do it, go ahead and do it. Get a second or a third for him because you can work your way through the draft if you have that extra pick.
Yep. And
But
rumor has it, depending on this Deshaun Watson suspension, they might trade, get a pick. Maybe
mhm,
we'll just hypothetically call this one a third round pick, trade
mhm.
Baker, and then get Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I did see that.
And I tell you what, that's not a bad insurance policy. At Brissett kind of take Brissett be there, be the starter, Darnold there as like your backup, and then when Watson comes back, assuming he comes back, assuming he's not suspended for the rest of his life, um,
Yeah.
you've got Darnold as your third string, and then cut him the following year. But I think that Carolina would have to eat Baker's contract at that point, because then the Browns will obviously take Darnold's contract and be done with it.
Yeah, but the question would be is could they afford to eat most of both contracts? Because Darnold's guaranteed almost 20 mil this year too. And that's
Well,
that's probably the big holdup because you can't trade for Baker fully because you already have one quarterback you're investing
that's what
20
I'm
mil in.
saying. If they do that trade between the two, if the
Mhm.
Browns get like a pick and Sam Darnold, the Browns will take all of Darnold's contract. Carolina would take Baker's and be done with it, and then a pick.
Maybe.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's the only way that gets done.
Yeah,
And
I don't know who bites on that one though. I don't know which one's more
yeah,
valuable. I mean,
because
it's
I
kind of
don't,
pick your poison.
and I don't think Sam Darnold can be in the same quarterback room as Baker. I don't think that would work very well.
Yeah, but Baker's not gonna mentor Matt Corral.
No, but I mean, he would be there to be the definitive starter, though. I mean,
So
who would
who?
you rather have starting for your team, Matt Corral or Baker Mayfield?
But I think it depends on who you're asking. You're asking Robbie Anderson. I think the answer's Matt Corral.
Well, Robbie Anderson's kind of an idiot, though.
Well, that's true.
I mean, let's be honest. Baker Mayfield was so much better than any of these quarterbacks in this draft. It's
Yeah,
not even funny. He's light years better coming out of his, if you took Baker Mayfield from the 2018 draft and put him in this draft, he'd still be first overall, more than likely, or he would definitely be the first quarterback taken
yeah,
and miles ahead of the other guys. I'm sorry.
yeah.
I mean, do you really want Kenny Smallhands Pickett over Baker Mayfield? No. You
No,
don't. And if you say you do, if you say you want Kenny Pickett over Baker Mayfield, you're lying.
at least
Yeah,
right now.
absolutely. Yeah, that's all we have to go off of.
Right.
So there you go. So that's our Baker news. Um,
Before we get into the next thing, I know we're going to talk about camp standouts. I
yeah.
wanted to bring this up. I don't know if you saw it. There's a video that was, well, two videos, one yesterday and one today from the Saints camp. Of yesterday was a one-handed catch from Jarvis, and it made me
Hmm.
really miss Jarvis. I was like, oh man,
I miss Jarvis.
R.I.P.
I
But the
miss him
second
so
one
much.
was it was a both running a comeback route. One was Jarvis, and the next one was Chris Olave. And boy, it really shows you the difference between the speed of Olave and the speed of Jarvis.
Yeah.
Olave is so much faster. I mean, the speed in which he was making his break, the speed he was getting to the point of where the ball needed to come out. I mean, everything was so much faster than Chris Olave, or sorry, than Jarvis was.
Yeah.
So, and I know we'll get into it, but it kind of furthers my confidence in the regime to move on from Jarvis and move to who I think we both are very excited about, which is David Bell.
Yeah. David Bell was going to be one of our, I think both of our one of the guys that has stood out in camp so
Hmm.
far. Um, so there's kind of been a joke going around on Twitter right now that every time the media is at camp, David Bell doesn't drop a ball. Which, if that's the case, if the cameras are on him and that's what makes him not drop a ball, then
All
sign
that.
me up. Sign me up 100%. Get this man $100 million contract. If he's not going to drop a ball, then hell yeah. Let's do this.
Did you
That's
see what he said? Did you see what he said about the drop balls?
Yeah, he said that there was been plenty when the cameras weren't on.
He said one.
Oh, he
Yeah,
said
he said there.
one.
He said there was one. Or maybe he said it was a few, but he said there was either one or a few, and it was during mini camp. Involved the off the or sorry the OTAs, off season team activities.
Okay.
because
Okay.
it wasn't during when the media was. He said it was before the media started showing up. He dropped the ball, but since the media's been there, he's not dropped a pass.
Wow.
So, and that's not just one person. That's multiple people reporting the same thing. So
It's
it's
got to make you feel good, Browns fans. I know it makes me feel good because
yeah.
I remember a guy who wore that same number 18 for 1 year. He mainly wore number 15, but he wore 18 1 year, and this man had bricks for hands. If you don't remember his name, let
Oh,
me just
don't.
read you let me just tell you a tweet
Mm.
and see if it rings a bell. I got that, what was it, October something circled on my calendar. Believe that. Greg Stonehands Little.
Greg Stonehands Little.
That was when the
God, I couldn't stand him.
Browns cut him. He signed with Oakland, and the Browns were going to be playing Oakland. So he goes, pretty much, I got that date circled. Then he said, believe that. He literally said, believe that. I believe that's translated to believe that. Um, and yeah, come to find out, so he was ready to play the Browns, ready to get revenge on his old team, but then he got cut before the season started and hasn't been in the NFL since. So, I mean,
He
he's
was
had some
just
off
so
season
bad.
stuff, but that's about it.
He
He
was
never.
so bad.
He was awful, absolutely awful, atrocious in every sense of the word. And it was weird. He would make a catch every once in a while. He would have one of those like spectacular catches, and you're like, where is this? You'll
He
catch
is
a
exactly what I can say I compared David and Njoku to for a very long time.
yeah.
And then Njoku improved. But
That's the
it's the
thing.
same.
Njoku definitely improved. He earned that contract that he's got.
Yeah. Well, and it's mostly on potential though. I mean,
It
he's only
really,
25. And
yeah,
there was a thing I saw where people like, well, look at he's not as good as Travis Kelsey. Well, he's also a lot younger than Travis Kelsey.
a lot
Travis Kelsey
younger.
didn't have his first thousand yard season until he was 27.
Yep,
And Joku's turning 25 this year. Like that's a big difference.
yep.
And he's been in the league for 4 years now. So I mean it's
He's
one of those
start.
things where
Yep,
but
he's starting to catch on. He's
exactly.
really starting to catch on. And the good
The
thing is,
potential is like this.
yep. And the Stefanski offense is very tight end friendly. And
Yep.
that's when, we kind of knew that he would thrive in this system, which he has. He
He's
is
shown flashes.
exactly.
Well, and from the things that I've heard, at least from the other beat reporters that are there, they said that the with this offense and the way that it's going, the the middle of the field really opens up. I
Okay.
mean, so if that's the case, it's going to really open up a lot of opportunities for him. And I think this is the big if. If Watson's playing, the potential for Njoku doubles.
Oh, 100%. I think that
I think
the potential for everybody doubles.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yep.
But I mean, I'm talking specifically like his production.
Yes.
We think about a few of those plays over the years, the seam routes down the middle to Chief. Like
Yeah.
I can think of at least a few of them,
Yep.
and it's like God, the more of those he runs, and the more of those that if Watson hits him on those deep seams down the middle, it's going to open up everything.
Yep.
And I'm so excited to see this offense because you think about it, there's so much versatility on this team. And this is kind of leads us into talking about camp and the standouts. But I know we already mentioned David Bell, and I have more that for me, I'm excited to see him mostly because he has inside and outside versatility.
Yep.
He has that. I don't want to say Jarvis level potential, but he does have that type of skill set. Not
Oh,
as
you're
fast, catches everything that's thrown near him. He is shifty. He's great in and out of routes. So can he play that Jarvis role? I think he can. Can he
yep.
grow into something more? I think he can. And I saw a quote from him talking about Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's actually his locker mate right next to him. And so they're talking 24/7. They're already building that chemistry. If they're building that chemistry, think of what that could turn into 2 years from now. You know,
Exactly.
the potential for this kid's the sky. And I know we've talked about it before, but I'll say it again. He won best receiver in the Big Ten, and there were 3 top 15 picks taken before him. 3. Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Jahan Dotson. All
Yep.
3 taken before him. Actually, taken what, 2 rounds before him?
Yep.
Taken 2 full rounds ahead of him, and he won best receiver in the Big Ten. So the potential is there.
Yep.
Obviously, depends on what the production shows, but you think about it. Amari Cooper, great route runner, excellent route runner. Knock against him, and I know most Cowboy fans will say this, he disappears sometimes. He'll have, a 4-game stretch where he has, 100 yards a game, 200 yards a game, and then he'll go cold. Well, the great news for us is we both agree DPJ is set to have that year that we thought he was going to have last year. And if you look at some of the things videos that I've seen coming out of camp, he made a spectacular play yesterday. He was coming back. I think he was running a in route. He went to go, or no, it was comeback route. He went to turn. He saw the ball was way off to the side. And he dove for it way off to, and I was like, where the hell was that?
Yeah.
And I think we talked about it on the last show. But he has the highest big play potential in the league, as far as the big plays in the league. He was number 1. Him and Gabriel Davis from the Bills. Those were the first 2. You think about it, he has the big play potential every single play. Because he can catch those balls when they're thrown his way. He makes the crazy-ass catches.
Yep.
So the potential for him is off the charts. Stefanski said, and Alex Van Pelt said it with Zagura the other day, he said that Anthony Schwartz is starting to grow into his own. He's starting to gain confidence. He's a whole different player from what he was last year, is what he said. You're starting to see him smile more, starting to see him understand the playbook more, starting to see him really start to show his speed out in the field. That's dangerous. If you watch the Texans when Will Fuller was there, when Will Fuller was on the field with Deshaun Watson, Watson was a totally different quarterback. Or if you watch Watson when he had Kenny Stills, same thing. Totally different quarterback.
Yep.
Him with somebody like that, with that kind of speed, it's just incredible. The thought of 4 wide receivers being what? Cooper, DPJ, Anthony Schwartz, and David Bell on the field at the same time. You could do so many different things with those guys. Like, the potential is endless. And you still have Jakeem Grant, who's a great return guy. You can still throw him out there, too, for some trickery.
Yeah.
So, the guys that you're hearing about, the DPJs, the David Bells, the Anthony Schwartz, those skill players that we all were concerned about last year. Well, obviously not David Bell because he wasn't here, but Anthony Schwartz and DPJ, the good news coming out about them is so much bigger than anything else we could see. Because obviously, the offensive line is a sure thing. We have all the guys coming back. You re-sign Chris Hubbard. You have that depth there now. You have James Hudson in his second year. He should continue to improve. You have depth now at the offensive line position. You have the 2-headed monster in Chubb and Hunt. You still have 3 really good backs behind them.
Which is
Ernest
so
Johnson,
weird.
It's so weird. But
I don't
the
like
Ernest
it.
Johnson, we know what he did. You had Demetric Felton, which we know that he's a Swiss Army knife, and he's done both again this year, wide receiver and running back. And you have Jerome Ford, which, in my opinion, could be the total game changer. And you still have John Kelly.
Yeah.
So, you're set at running back. You're not going anywhere with those guys. You have, it doesn't matter who's at quarterback with at least with Hunt and Chubb back there. And there's been rumors that those two have been lining up in the backfield together. So,
that's
at
why
that point, who do you guard?
Yep.
Who do you
And
cover?
that's why they also need to not trade Hunt, because there's been a lot of rumors about that. And I don't know if my heart can take that. Because Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb together, that's a duo you don't want to break up. And I hate to say it, but I would much rather lose to Ernest Johnson than Kareem Hunt. And I think that's what they need to do, because one of those guys is gone. Yeah. They're going to trade him sometime, or they're going to cut him. One of the two.
Mm-hmm.
And I would much rather it be Ernest Johnson. I think he earned his chance to start for another team. I think he's more than earned that. So I just had to say that real quick. What you brought up.
Somebody is gone. It's clear.
Yeah.
You can't keep all those guys. and then it's just a matter of,
They're
does
not gonna
Felton
they're not
do
gonna
enough
cut
for you?
they're not gonna
I don't
cut
think
Felton,
so.
and they're not gonna cut Jerome Ford.
I mean, they could though. He's a 6th round pick.
It's
You
possible. It is 100%. Never say never. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I don't know
don't.
though. I mean, I think one's gone. I do think it's either going to be Hunt or Johnson that are gone, but I don't know who that is. I mean, and if we're being honest though, we don't need one of those guys. Even if God forbid they do trade Kareem Hunt, you still have Dearness Johnson, who we both know was really good when Hunt was out.
Yeah, he filled
And
in
and and,
nicely, but
and
you
let's
could
be
also
honest,
tell that something was missing when Kareem Hunt was gone last year.
yeah, but that a lot of that was the receiving aspect. Jerome
Exactly.
Ford's a really good receiving back. Dearness Johnson's been working on becoming a better receiving back. You still have, Demetric Felton, who obviously at wide receiver could be a good receiving back. I think the big thing for him was working on becoming a better running back. He's got the receiving skills. It was a matter of becoming a bigger, stronger, faster running back.
Yeah.
So if he has the threat to run the ball, he has that. He doesn't have Kareem Hunt's skill set yet,
Yeah.
nowhere near that. But he
Yeah.
has the potential to take the pressure off of Nick Chubb a little bit. And let's be honest, Nick Chubb doesn't even need it. Nick Chubb was still a really good receiving back when he had the opportunities last year.
Yep.
And I will say, I saw this on the internet and I completely agree with it. Actually, I saw it on TikTok. This guy was talking about how Derrick Henry is way overrated and Nick Chubb is better. And they talked about the stiff arm game and how, everyone goes back to the whole, what was it? Was it Earl Thomas? Yeah, the Earl Thomas stiff arm when he was in Baltimore and
Yeah.
how he was, running backwards and he shoved him a few times. But no one talks about that Nick Chubb stiff arm to the dude from the Steelers.
Oh
How
yeah.
he literally put him in the dirt.
Yeah.
They said, and it's the truth. No one gives Nick Chubb the credit he
You want to know
deserves.
because Nick Chubb's quiet.
Exactly.
Nick
And
Chubb's.
he doesn't have the nickname the King. He didn't go to Alabama.
Yep. And again, I will say this: I'll never forget watching this sideline clip, 2019, with Odell and Nick Chubb standing right next to
Mhm.
each other. Odell standing next to Nick Chubb. Odell looks at Chubb, says, "Man, I want to score a touchdown." And Nick Chubb, "I
I
want to
want to win.
win."
Mm-hmm. He's,
I
and
got
he, yeah,
I got goosebumps. I got goosebumps
mhm.
just saying that.
I mean, I literally if I could take 53 Nick Chubbs on my team, no one say a single word, but everyone just go out, do their damn jobs, run as hard as they
Yep,
possibly fucking can, and run over 20, a Steeler every single play. I take it in a heartbeat. Give
100%.
it to me. Put it directly in my veins. We need more Nick Chubbs on our team.
Yep. Every team needs a Nick Chubb.
No, they don't. Only we need a Nick Chubb.
Well, I'm just saying every team needs that
No,
type of player.
we no. Nick Chubb is one of a kind. We get our Nick Chubb. No one else gets anyone like him.
You know what I meant.
I
They
don't
need
care what you meant.
a Nick Chubb type
Mm-mm.
of player. Jesus H
Nope.
Christ. Is this what we're
Nope.
doing? Is this
You're
what
not
we're
getting my
doing?
Nick Chubb.
I'm not saying that I want him to have Nick Chubb. Damn. Jesus H
He's
Christ.
great for the locker room.
He's
Fuck their
wonderful for.
locker rooms.
All right, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Mister, I hate 31 other teams.
Hey, and I do hate 31 other teams. Always have, always
They
will.
don't get Nick Chubb.
I don't want him to have another Nick Chubb. I'm just saying other teams could
They need a Nick Chubb.
use a Nick Chubb.
See, roll
Anyway,
my eyes at you. Roll
yeah.
my eyes at you.
Anyway, I'm gonna give another camp standout because we're starting to get a little above time here. We're getting close. We've been on for nearly an hour, so we're just gonna go ahead and give my other camp standout, which has been Cade York. This team has desperately needed a kicker since Phil Dawson left. We have desperately needed a kicker, and damn it, we might have him. We might have one finally. This kid was nailing 60-yard plus field goals. Yeah, the weather is perfect. I realize that. But it's nice to hit a 60-yarder, a 60-yard plus. That's really nice. It's nice the fact that we have a guy that can do it. And he was doing it with some pressure because they were putting pressure on him doing it. So that's really nice.
One more if you're done.
Okay. So that's really good. I and some of the people media was able to see him kind of kick a little bit And they said that kid has been very, 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 very impressive. So hopefully we give Evan McPherson a little run for his money.
I'd love
Is
it.
same here. I said we've desperately needed a kicker for a long time, and I think maybe, just maybe, might have found him. So
Let's hope so.
that's one of my standouts. Go ahead, Miko.
So, and obviously, I saw there's a stat that I saw on Twitter today, and I wanted to bring it up as well, but to go off of who I'm excited about and who I've heard really good things about at camp, and I know we talked about it, me and you talked about him before the show, but that's Jacob Phillips. Um,
Yes.
I mean,
Yes,
it
yes, yes.
if he stays healthy, the linebacker trio of him, JOK, and Anthony Walker,
Which
that could be
Walker's
a
playing
very.
outside right now. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that they've got Jacob Phillips in the middle. Walker's playing
Good.
outside.
I mean,
And I guess
Phillips
he's
has
been
the
fitting
speed to
in
do
really
it.
nice. Yeah. But I guess Walker's been he's been looking pretty damn good on outside linebacker.
Well, I mean, and if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Darius Leonard plays in the middle too, so he would have been playing outside when he was in Indy.
I believe you're
I think
correct.
I think Darius Leonard plays
Yeah.
outside or in the middle. But
I
either way,
think so.
point being, so one stat that I saw from one of the guys I follow on Twitter, he said when healthy, he's a sure tackler. So here's the missed tackle percentage. In 2020, he had a 3.8 missed tackle percentage. In 2021, he had a 10.5 missed tackle percentage. Really good percentage.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, the speed that he has, combined with the speed that JOK has, combined with you still having Clowney and Garrett up front and the back end being completely set, which if you haven't seen or haven't heard, Grant Delpit is having a tremendous camp as well. Shout out to
Yep.
him.
Yep.
I know he picked off. I think it's the second time he's picked off Watson so far throughout this off season. So you have Watson and Johnson. Or sorry,
Hey, your mic's gone. Technical
Del-
difficulties.
should be back.
All
There we
right,
go.
you're
I'm
good.
back.
You're good.
But I was saying you have, Delpit and John Johnson in the back. You have four really good corners that you can rely on,
Yep.
three especially. And then you have those three linebackers. You still have, Clowney and Garrett on the outside. Obviously, you got to work on the inside. That's something I think we still have
Hey,
room to grow in.
no, we got my man, Perry on Winfrey in the middle. We don't need nobody else.
The dog.
We got the dog. I'm a dog.
That's right. But I mean, honestly, I think it's the only part of our defense that's actually weak.
Yep.
And last year we worried about linebacker, and look at how good JOK showed up. So
Oh my
I think we have a
God, he
lot of
was
potential on this
great.
team.
It's just Jacob Phillips needs to stay healthy. That's
Yeah.
the biggest thing. He's got to
Mhm.
stay healthy this year.
Oh,
We'll see. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see. I think another standout. Trying to think, because you said Jacob Phillips, and that was another guy that I was thinking. I had another one lined up, but I can't remember. Greg Newsome.
Yeah.
So far has really stepped up in year two. That's really, really, really nice. So
He's playing a lot of inside, which is going to be
Yep.
wild to think. And if you can keep Greedy healthy, having Greedy and Denzel on the outside and Greg Newsome on the inside,
and
that's
Martin
nasty.
Emerson too to swap in and out as we go.
Well, and you still have AJ Green to swap in and out too.
Exactly.
I mean, they have depth. They can
Yeah.
actually, and the other crazy part is Ronnie Harrison wasn't a bad safety last year.
I think
but he
is
committed
he's underrated. Yeah, he committed some dumbass penalties.
every single game. He was good for one penalty a game,
Yeah,
whether it be pass interference or
pushing a coach.
a 15-yarder or whatever.
Listen, I'm gonna give him a pass on pushing that coach though, because it was kind of.
Yeah, but I mean, you think about it, he still had plenty of other
Oh
unsportsmanlike
no,
conduct.
you're right, but I'm giving him a pass for that one for pushing that Chiefs
Oh
coach.
yeah, I agree.
I'll give him a pass. Like looking back on it, at first it looked bad.
Yeah.
But then if you watch the play, he didn't actually step on a Chiefs player. He tripped over him, and that coach came up and got in his face, and Ronnie Harrison gave him the old what's a who's and pushed him, and
He wanted that smoke.
Yeah, he got that smoke, baby. Let me tell
Right.
you. So, yeah, we'll give him a pass there. But yeah, that's one of my Greg Newsom has been another standout in camp. I say we'll go over 3 injuries right now, and I think that'd probably be about it, unless you got anything else that you wanted to add to the
After the
conversation.
injuries, it's non-Browns related. I just wanted to go through a couple key
Okay.
things.
So a couple of things. We have 3 players right now with some injuries. That one of them that we obviously knew about with Jack Conklin,
Yeah.
still working on that knee.
Mm, Taylor, yeah, so tendon, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully he will be back by week 1. That's the hope. That's the plan. Greedy Williams has also been kind of taking it easy. Um,
I think it's part of their plan, though, is to
it,
keep him
I
as healthy as possible.
yeah, and Jakeem Grant is also another guy who's been a little banged up.
Didn't
So
know that one.
yeah, he had, I guess he was seen with his right leg wrapped up, and he was not participating in a lot of mini camp stuff.
Hmm.
So they actually had DPJ returning some kicks.
Mhm. Well, I mean, he's done it before, so it wouldn't
Oh
surprise
yeah,
me.
I hope we don't have to rely on that though.
No, I agree.
I mean, I think I would much rather have Demetric Felton doing it, personally speaking, but that's me.
Yeah,
But hey, whatever. I'm not the coach. I'm just
right.
here.
So, two things I wanted to kind of bring up with you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
One is not serious but kind of ironic, and the other one's just I guess foreshadowing for us for the future.
Okay.
So I don't know if you saw it, but old Minka Fitzpatrick just got 18 million a year from the Steelers today. So in 2 years, or really next year when Delpit's up, that's going to be a big decision they got to make
Yep.
because after next year, I believe that both Delpit and John Johnson would both be up for contracts. I think Johnson has 1 year left after this year, and Delpit would be on his last year, his rookie deal. So that could be something we have to look at foreshadowing for after this year. Um, and then the other one, which kind of it makes sense on why it happened, but I hope that it's the same treatment that we got when we were there. Old Joey B is going to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated this year for the football preview. So welcome, Bengals fans.
Yep. Can't wait to
Let's
see
be
most.
honest, the kid deserves it. He definitely deserves it.
If Joe
I
Burrow did not play for the Bengals, I would like him a lot more because
I'd root for him
I
wherever he's
liked
at.
him in college. I liked
Oh,
him in college when he was playing for LSU, not when he
yep.
was playing for OSU, but when he was playing for LSU,
You had to throw that out there.
I did, and I always will. But I was a big fan of his when he was playing for LSU,
Yeah.
man. I mean, you can't deny his talent. You just
No.
can't. To deny his talent is absolutely asinine in every sense of the word. I admit that. Everybody knows he's good, but he plays for the Bengals, so I hope he loses every single game he plays.
It's like this. So he plays for the Bengals, so fuck him. That's the
Yes,
best way to put it. I mean,
yes,
really, it is.
it really is. When a Michigan player goes to the Bengals, fuck him. They go to the Steelers. Fuck them. Ravens. Fuck them. Really, any other team other than the Browns. Fuck them.
I can't say the same. I
I
root for a
will.
lot of players from Ohio State.
You can be like, oh yeah, he's a great player. Fuck him. That's how I am. I admit Lamar Jackson's a good football player. Fuck him.
That's good. That's an interesting scenario situation that's going on there.
Yeah, that's man. What are they
Mm.
gonna do about that contract?
I
Because
I
they're
tell you what, they are
Lamar is
not happy with the Haslams.
no, they're not. And
They're
Lamar.
not happy at all.
Here's the thing. This is gonna go one of two ways. Okay, so number one, either Lamar is about to have himself the year of his life, even better than his MVP year, or B, he's going to have a year like he did last year, where he didn't do a whole lot and he was hurt constantly.
Yeah.
He's taking the Joe Flacco route. He's betting on himself. He's got balls. I wouldn't
Well,
do
I'll
it.
tell you. So this is one thing that I was watching Shannon Sharp talk about this, and he made a great point. He
Hmm.
said, "Can you imagine what the tension is like in that room with their owner, with the Bashottis, looking at Lamar Jackson. And most times when you have representation, they will give you both the good and the bad. They'll give you the reason why they don't want to pay them X amount of dollars. And obviously, we all know that 240 guaranteed is where he is starting at. Because the one
Yep,
thing that Lamar has that Deshaun Watson does not is a unanimous MVP.
exactly.
So he's already starting at 240 mil. So then you have to look at him and say, I don't know if we want to pay you 240 million because I don't know that we trust you to stay healthy and your ability to throw the ball as a quarterback is not as good as Justin Herbert or Joe Burrow, who are younger than you. And he's saying, oh, really? Is that how you feel? Tell me exactly how you feel about the.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure that's probably getting pretty contentious in there. And the other person who is helping him with this contract is his mother. You think Mama Bear is going to listen to some dude sitting there and badmouth his son or her son? Hell no.
Nope. Nope. Not at
You
all.
know,
Not one
you
bit.
know what? You know what they're about to say to him or to the Ravens? Fuck them. That's what they're about to say. I mean, not. I don't think he's leaving. They'll pay the man whatever they have to do. But I don't know. The Bashottis are have enough money to really guarantee that much money like the Haslams did.
Probably
When
not,
it comes to
man.
guaranteeing money, they have to sign that money and have it guaranteed right then and there. They have to have that in the bank account.
Yep.
I don't know the Bashottis. I don't know what they own and what their assets look like outside of it. But I talked about this whenever we signed Watson to that deal. But think about Paul Brown. What the hell is he going to do with Joe Burrow? You ain't got he doesn't have assets outside of the Bengals.
I mean, Paul Brown
Mike Brown. Sorry,
was like, Paul Brown dead, man. He'd been dead for a
my bad.
while.
Mike Brown.
I don't think he has many assets now that he's
And no,
dead.
it all went to his son, and his son doesn't have anything left to.
I mean, that's true. I don't think Mike Brown really. I mean, the only reason why he has the team is because he inherited it. That's it.
He didn't have any liquid assets really outside of it. I mean, obviously he has some because
You
he's
gotta
as
have
rich as
some.
he is,
You're a
but
businessman.
he's not Jimmy Haslam.
No,
He's not Robert Kraft. He's not the dude from Seattle. I can't remember his name right now.
I know you're talking about the yeah,
The guy that owns Bose and all that. I mean,
yeah,
he's not them. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Yeah, what the hell is he gonna do? I don't know how you're not gonna be able to pay Joey B 240 million guaranteed, fully guaranteed. Ah, good luck. But at the end of the day, last thing I'm gonna say, you know what I think about their situation and the hardships they're gonna have with their contract.
What do you gotta say?
Fuck them.
Fuck him. Couldn't have said any better myself, guys. That was great.
The
Fuck
way
him.
to end it.
That you know what? You can't really top that. You can't top that at all. So, guys, that's going to do it for this edition of Load the Box Browns. Obviously, Load the Box Browns is brought to you by United Athletic Wear. Go to unitedathleticwear.com for all your athletic wear needs, whether football team, baseball team, gear, jerseys, you name it, they've got it. Thank you guys for joining us. It's been a great show. We'll see you next time. That's Eric Mienko. I'm Chris Paxitas. We'll end it how we always do. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Ooh, ooh.